Backlog. Speaking of horror, I know the Sandman has some kind of like, I want to say it has like some horror elements to it, but it also is like sort of this. I want to. I think I did some writing about it, and I want to. I kind of tried to summarize what what it's like. Um, Let me see here. I know I wrote it somewhere. The show is like a cross between Supernatural, Harry Potter, and Lucifer, wrapped in a fairy
Yeah,
tale
yeah.
slash early 2000s blanket. And it feels like it could easily be like on network television in like, I don't know, like 2010 and would be canceled within 2 to 3 seasons. I don't know.
I mean, if they wanted to make it like a police procedural, like they made Lucifer,
That was
but
yeah. Oh my god. Was it
yeah.
like
I mean,
Grimm?
I see where you're getting that vibe. As I said, I think I don't know. I feel like if this had just ended up being on HBO, it would have been a little bit more what I wanted. But
Hmm.
this was still great. I was still it definitely had the like trippy magic vibes, trippy mystical vibes that I think comes with anything like that Neil Gaiman works on or has made. Of course, obviously they had to make some changes from the original comic, just because they can't use all the Sandman comic was originally part of DC, and they can't use all of the DC stuff that the original comic had. Like, the original comic had like Justice League cameos, Arkham Asylum cameos, stuff like that.
Yeah.
So they take some of that out. But I liked what they did. I mean, it was pretty cool. I think they changed John Constantine to Joanna Constantine, which there is actually Joanna Constantine in the comic.
Hmm.
It's just John's ancestor.
Yep.
But they kind of combine that story together to just make it Joanna is like the modern day Constantine. And she's played by Jenna Coleman.
Constantine.
Constantine. Well, they're
They're,
in
they're,
Europe.
they're,
It's
they're in
fine.
Britain.
They're in Europe, so it's fine.
In across the pond. But I like Jenna Coleman as an actress. I think she did a pretty good job with what she had. So I don't know. What do you guys' comments on it? I mean, we should keep going, but
So boy, just to piggyback off that, man, that voiceover was really rough. In her dream sequence.
oh, the ADR? I didn't even notice.
Yeah, the ADR
probably.
was really bad.
Yeah.
Like it was clearly like you could tell it was voiced over. Like for some maybe like the audio was damaged or something. But it was also very it like the scenes transitioned so fast you couldn't actually watch her mouth like say the words. So I don't know if like why they did that, or maybe it's because she was speaking Latin. But also that Constantine thing, Constantine thing, is explained in later episodes. Well, kind of explained in later episodes. And yeah, man, I really enjoyed it.
Which Constantine thing was explained? The backstory with Astra?
I can't say because it'll spoil it.
Oh, okay. Well, I was just gonna. Yeah. What were you saying? Sorry.
I was saying, like, I was asking Quintessence what he thought of
Oh,
just like initial thoughts.
well, so I've seen 3 episodes. I don't think it's really hooked me like it's hooked you guys. I find the main character Morpheus to be kind of exhausting,
Oh, I love him.
and I don't think we needed like the entire first episode to set up.
It was very slow. I understand
Everything.
what you're saying, but I agree with it. It was very slow.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
Great.
I personally do think it's important to the story. I know it was slower paced the first episode.
Do we see those characters from the past again?
I don't know. Maybe.
I'm a sucker for
Okay.
anything Charles dances in, bro.
If we
Tywin
do see
Lannister.
those characters again,
Yeah.
then I will step back and say, yes, I was wrong, and the beginning was more justified than I initially thought. But as it currently stands, for me personally, I felt like a majority of the first episode was kind of wasted time. They could have probably covered the same amount of important events in like half the time.
Oh.
maybe even less,
yeah.
because not a whole lot actually happens that seems to be relative to the story at hand.
I think some of it's going to be relevant later. Of course, I have to get to later, but I mean,
That's fair.
for me, Charles Dance can act in anything. He's great as Tywin Lannister. He's great in this, even if it's like a short spot. But if he's in it again, I'll be happy.
No, he was good. I mean, the acting is good. The acting's fine.
Yeah.
It's just, I don't know. I'm not really sure where things are going or what the point of some scenes are.
Yeah. But I agree. It's got a very, like, modern TV generally has more of a rapid pace to keep people interested, and this kind of just decided not to do that. And although I respect his artistic decision, I'm like, okay, I really hope this pays off later, because you're gonna lose a lot of people just on the pacing of the first episode.
Just because it nearly lost me. The first episode I was like, come on.
Nothing really happens. I mean, granted, it's setting up the backstory of why, Dream's been away and why everything's going on. But yeah, it's definitely like it's definitely like the lore episode is the first episode. It's like, it kind of hurts.
And then the second episode, they try to like pull on your heartstrings, with some, this character, it's going away. Oh no. And I'm like, I don't care. I was with this character for 2 minutes before you decided to get rid of it.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, what's his name? Tom Sturridge, who plays Dream, I think does a fantastic job. Like, you can really believe he's kind of like an ethereal prince who is kind of used. He's like he's kind of a dick in his own way, because he's almost too used to his own privilege. He's like doesn't recognize what being immortal is about. But then again, why would he?
He's very separated from reality.
He's a frumpy pretty boy. I'm gonna call him, and I actually like renamed the protagonist to Sad Coma Man, because any sort of power that he has, he just puts people just like in mini comas. So,
yeah.
Yo, also, what's up, Afternoon Tune? How you doing, man?
His power is definitely like, you get a coma, and you get a coma, and you get a coma. And even when he finally gets out of jail, his whole thing is like, okay, I'm not gonna kill you. I'm gonna fuck you up by putting you to sleep forever.
I'm gonna coma you.
I'm gonna give you a bad night's sleep, baby.
Oh, forever. It's like, you kind of a dick, bro. That's actually one of the things that pissed me off about the first episode is like, the kid fucked up, but look where he came from. You know what I mean? Like, bro, how you gonna do him like that? He wanted to let you out, but you were literally just too stubborn to talk to him.
I was surprised by the kid's actions, even though he was treated like trash.
Yeah.
He's a bit of a tragic character.
I mean, Dream even says that. He's like, could I have talked to him and resolved this? Probably. But I didn't feel like it. And I'm like, wow.
I don't want it because I'm fucking petty.
I actually I want to build on that too. Because I had wrote something here. Morpheus is obviously trapped in the prison. And this is, this is a huge, this first episode is a huge metaphor for the character itself. So he's trapped in a prison and basically has the choice to leave. And, spoilers, by the way, guys. He has the choice to leave like multiple times, but refuses to do so because he is too prideful. And then he also knows that the tools that he has and abilities that he can grant people, essentially, it also is it anybody real quick? Is anybody's audio playing through the their stream?
A little bit.
Yeah, I was gonna say, because I can hear the audio is being played back.
Nope, I have everything muted.
If somebody could just mute Twitch if they have it up.
Yeah, let me see where it's coming from, because I don't think I have anything up.
Anyway, so this is, he's very prideful, and he never lets go of any grudges that happen, right? And so
he's a baby.
He Morpheus is like, metaphorically, he's in a prison, but he's in his own self prison also. Do you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And
is he? Yeah.
And I was thinking that like him being in that prison is sort of like even more of a metaphor of like trauma and shortcomings in, you know, in our own, that could be in our own personal life that kind of stop us from being free in like a growing sense. You know what I'm saying? And in some ways, you know, when we don't grow and we don't like, you know, we don't let go of you know, trauma or like bad things that have happened to us, you know, you know, the world around us can sort of crumble, you know, like his prison, I'm sorry, like his kingdom did.
His kingdom,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I think that's, as I said, I hope at the end of this journey, Dream has a little bit of self-reflection on his own failings, because I mean, he could have left.
Yeah, he could have left multiple times.
He couldn't get out of his own ego.
His own way, yeah.
And then he wants to blame the mortals. I'm like, bruh, if you're in the mortal realm, this is who you deal with. Like, you know what I mean?
Not
like,
by choice, too.
Yeah,
you left your own realm. You put yourself in danger by doing that, and then you want to act all high and mighty, being like, "Well, these mortals are beneath me. I don't want to deal with them." Like, bruh, they trapped you. You have no way of getting. Like, you know what I mean? Like, who's the fucking high and mighty one if you can't even get out of this? Like, he was very like. I mean, I get that he's like an immortal being, but like, it's like cool your own ego, bro.
Yeah. Well, for like my notes for episode 1, I'm just like, and we shift to naked, angry, sad man again. And we shift to naked, angry, sad man again. And again. And again. It just got a little old.
So like I get like him not, you know, forgiving people for killing his raven, because I feel like that's the big that to me that's like the biggest thing that people fucked up on, because he
I think that sent him over the edge. Agreed.
He's because it's his familiar, and then even though like he knew that the boy, I mean, it's no excuse for like the kid to kill the raven, right? I mean, even though
he did, like, he should understand what a child is.
Yeah, and how the father was like sort of pushing him into it, because if he didn't, he would have like would have been kicked out.
Beat him to death. Yeah.
Beat him with a cane again and again and again.
And you know, I just think that you know, and even in the end, he like basically just wrecked his shit by putting him into a nightmare coma. But I will say that in what I've seen so far, that the future episodes have a really interesting way of building upon how dreams affect the supernatural world. Like, and it seems kind of lame at first, like, you know, you wouldn't kind of get into it, but just like the creative ways that they use that element and how it shows his importance as a character to the world as a whole. Like even like you could say, like, you know, just as like a mini thing in the show, the first 3 episodes, remember everyone gets a sleep, you know, paralysis that happens to, like a sleep sickness that happens to them, just because he's sort of
either you can't sleep or you permanently sleep.
Yeah, exactly. And you know, it's sort of super interesting, and the aspect of him having grudges, and you know, it goes to an extreme character flaw later on as well.
Yeah. Well, I even like the scene where like he finally gets back to his kingdom and he's bitching to his one faithful servant. That he's like, "Why didn't more of you stay?" And like, dude, you pieced out for like 100 years. So like, I don't understand what you don't understand. And then it was like, so he's mad at them, and then he's like, well, my siblings probably knew exactly where I was and didn't help me out either. And I'm like, bro, you're blaming everyone but yourself now. I'm like, I'm sure your siblings have their own shit they have to deal with. And yeah, they possibly could have helped you, but maybe that would have put them in just as much danger if they did. Like, you know what I mean? Like, he seems I mean, I guess that's his character, but like, you definitely get the sense of like entitlement from him, and it's like, bruh, like, yeah, check your privilege, homie.
Well, I mean, I'm sure we can.
He's a god. He doesn't have to.
Apparently not.
I mean, I'm sure we could all think of someone in our life who we're not going to forgive them for fucking up. But
yeah, sorry guys.
At the same time, you know, there's a point where, like August was saying, like, yeah, you have to take responsibility, like, for not choosing freedom over, because who knows, he could have taken the freedom thing and then just fucked up the old man, and there would be nothing that they could do about, like, really, he escapes. I mean, he would have less power, but I'm sure he could still, mess somebody up. Like, what are they gonna do? They're humans. Like, you could just go back on your word. At least that's what I was thinking the whole time.
I feel like he might be like not the kind to go back on his word. I feel like his character at the core is kind of honest, but it's just like it's again, there's some character flaws in that he can't accept that, like, maybe I have to play a part in this if I want to get what I want out of it, whereas he's just used to getting what he wants. But I think that's even like a line in the thing where it's like you're just used to getting what you want.
He's also, like, I wrote here, like, I think he really ultimately the character Dream, and people call him Dream, they call him Morpheus, Sandman. He has like 3 names, which makes it a little confusing. Endless, whatever. And so
I think Endless is his race. Like Endless, they're basically like eternal concepts or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but people often just call him Endless. Like Joanna calls him Endless.
I think they refer to it in the beginning when Corinthian, his creation, shows up, and he's like, he's one of the Endless. So like his sister Death is an Endless.
Yeah.
I think any of the other ones are also Endless. It's just like the whole thing started because Charles Dance's character wanted to capture Death, and he got Dream instead. He's bad. He's trash at magic. I don't know.
Well. Oh, okay. Yeah, I thought. Yeah, he definitely was.
Dream just happened to be there at the same time. It was kind of an unlucky coincidence.
Yeah. Spell probably summons any Endless on the mortal plane, and he was probably the one stupid enough to be on the mortal plane.
Yeah. It was a coin flip.
I will say that, like, sort of like an important aspect of his character is I ultimately think that Dream or Morpheus is a sensitive person.
Absolutely.
And so, but there's also, to the other side of that, he has a very loving, like, the people that do stick near him and, his people, he very much cares for and takes care of throughout the show. So it's like, yeah, like, it leads to more bad than, that you see more the more bad, but, like, also there is some good side to him being sensitive and the loyalty aspect.
Oh yeah, when he was there, his kingdom was flourishing. I think he's just very prideful, and he considers his own needs before the needs of others. I mean,
it says a lot when, as soon as he gets back, he just tries to rebuild his kingdom. He's like, all right, I'll just bring this. Oh no, I'm way too weak for that shit. All right.
So what it, like, overall, did anyone have any like ending thoughts about that they wanted to bring up before we switch topics? Yeah.
I loved this. Again, I love trippy, weird shit, supernatural shit, and this is, injected into my veins. I want more of this. I think this probably would have been better on HBO than Netflix, even though Netflix didn't exactly do everything. I think it's officially being produced by Warner Brothers, but they just sold it to Netflix.
Yeah.
This was a really cool thing. And I'm excited to finish it. It's not the coolest thing in the world, but I mean, I love shit like this. I love good supernatural world and lore building. So I'm definitely going to watch more of it. I think Patton Oswalt was definitely the odd choice for the Raven because he's so distinctive. It kind of
as soon as the Raven talked, man. As soon as he talked, I was like, God damn it, why?
Yeah, I was a little like, it hurts a little bit. Like he's been like Patton Oswalt's been in too many things. It was almost like his rating. Like someone at even Reddit said it was like a super somber character meets like Ratatouille or something. It's so weird.
Does anybody actually like Patton Oswalt? I'm just saying, like, has he been in anything that someone is like that anybody likes? I've never seen him in anything. I was like, yeah, this
super
is great.
Memorable. No, he's just okay though.
I like him when he's well used, but when he's just used as comic relief, I'm over it. I'm like, I bet he's done it for too many years. It's kind of wasted.
I mean, I don't think the Raven doesn't turn out to be comic relief. So I mean, so far,
really, because it started out comic relief.
Or it feels maybe that's just what I think of when I hear Patton Oswalt's voice, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I like that casting choice. Everything else.
But my closing thoughts are probably the show seems interesting. However, the more I watch it, the more I'm just like, man, why'd they cancel Constantine? I miss Constantine.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like which one? The original like CBS one or the one on Legends of Tomorrow? Because he's been canceled twice at this point.
Or even I mean Neo Man.
Let me double check. I'm pretty sure it was.
I mean, Matt Ryan was the actor in the same one, so essentially they just got the rights back from the CBS Constantine and then put him in the Legends of Tomorrow with the same actor.
Also, I think it's important to point out really quick that this is not a part of like the DC movie canon whatsoever.
The 2014 one on NBC.
Yeah, no, NBC, that's what it was. Yeah,
that one was so good. The first episode sucked huge penis. It was awful. It was terrible. It wasn't Constantine. I don't know what the fuck it was. But then they acknowledged the first episode sucked so much that they retconned it in the second episode.
Hey, sometimes you just gotta cut your losses, bro.
They did. That was the definition of cutting your losses.
Yeah.
And from there on, it was a fantastic show, but the damage was already done.
Yeah, there's
and it
not
had
enough
no chance.
Yeah, there's not enough good supernatural television on what the fuck am I saying? There's not enough good supernatural shows on TV. Constantine was kind of a bright spark. I liked him even more in Legends of Tomorrow, but that got canceled also now. So here we are. But yeah, I mean, I think every media form of Constantine has been good. I'm always surprised that it never sticks. It never I like Justice League Dark. I liked
Keanu Reeves Constantine.
I love
Keanu Reeves Constantine.
That movie's great.
I didn't like it.
If you don't like that movie, I'm sorry, but also
I like Constantine.
Keanu Reeves himself has said he wants to play Constantine. He wanted to play Constantine again.
That was one of the best early 2000 superhero movies. Easily.
I loved it. I saw that movie with my dad, and then at the end, my dad's like, "I don't think there's gonna be a sequel." And then usually strangely he's always right, but he liked the movie, but he was like, "I don't think there's gonna be a sequel," and it's like, "Oh, okay, well."
I said that after watching Hellboy, but then they actually got a sequel, and I was like, "Fuck!"
Well, Guillermo del Toro's Hellboy fucking kicks ass.
It does. It's badass.
The sequel's not as good as the first, but yes, they're both great.
It's close. It's pretty close.
As opposed to the David Harbour Hellboy, which we don't talk about.
I've never seen it.
Never.
I do want to see it though. I haven't seen it.
It's awful.
So there were parts about it that were good, but on the whole, it wasn't good. And like anything that Mila Djokovic in at this point, just no. I'm not saying she's a bad actress. I'm just over it.
And the makeup worse in the new one than the old ones.
Yeah, I don't know what to tell you. That was watch it for the sake of watching it, but you'll see the flaws.
Yeah. Also, just a quick
if you want Hellboy, you just watch like Guillermo del Toro ones, or you watch the animated ones. All those are fantastic.
Or read the comic.
Yeah, or read the comic.
I mean, and the animated movies were good. Yeah, there's a lot of good Hellboy out
there. Damn it, Quintessence left. Quintessence left the chat. He went AFK.
No.
His controller died.
Frozen?
What was I gonna say? August, what would you rate this if you were to like just the first 3 episodes? Or do you wanna come back to it and then rate the first season?
Yeah, so let's okay.
I don't let my cat out.
Let's rate the first 3 episodes, and then we'll rate the first season, the rest of the season, because we will finish this. I do plan on finishing this.
Yeah.
But right now, the first 3 episodes, I'm gonna give a high 7, just because I liked it. I want to see more. It didn't hit every mark. As I said, the first episode was a little slow, but I definitely felt like it started to kind of pick it up. I love the cinematography. It's beautifully shot.
Oh yeah, it's super pretty.
Yeah.
I mean, except the CG is kind of rough in some places, but that's TV show, so.
Yeah, definitely TV CG, but it still it feels gorgeous aesthetically.
I'm at a 6.
Damn.
Right I don't think it's that great. It feels disjointed currently. I don't like the main character. I
don't think you're supposed to. But
it doesn't just for me personally, it doesn't really feel like it's going anywhere. But right now he's just gathering the MacGuffins, so maybe that
He is gathering the MacGuffins right now. Yeah.
He's getting the Tesseract. He's gonna open up a sky portal.
He's gathering the Infinity Stones. No. But yeah, no, like as I said, if they do kind of what Matt suggested, I have to watch more of it and really explain, why Dream is so important to the universe and why the other endless are so important to the universe.
He's surprisingly important.
Yeah, and do the rest of the world building, I think it'll be very cool. Because as I said, Neil Gaiman has always specialized in amazing world building. American Gods, amazing world building. I'm always sad that show never figured its shit out.
That's still going though, right?
No, no, it got canceled.
Oh.
But
it definitely has potential. It's just
that book it's one book.
That's how it is.
They couldn't do. You're still talking about Sandman. I'm just talking about American God.
Sandman. Yeah. Oh, American God. Yeah,
it was one book. They couldn't even do one book. I'm so mad. Still, I'll forever be mad. But
sometimes there's not great stuff that happens with book-related things.
Yeah. I like Sandman so far. I'm definitely going to read the comic after I finish it, but I'm definitely going to finish it first. So what's your rating, Matt? Yeah.
So
where are you at?
I just keep interjecting. My bad.
First three only, though, please.
See, that's the problem. Is after you watch that, it's hard to not judge it for the past 6. If you continue it. I honestly, I would say it's an 8.
Hey.
I like it.
An 8?
I think it's an 8. I think the character is good. I think it's better if you look at him like a human more than a god. Because to me he's a human. He's not really anybody could be like him. Anybody could be have those flaws, and that's what I like about him. Is even though he looks like he could be in Muse or something like that, he could look. I don't know if you've ever seen Muse in the early 2000s, but he looks like he could easily be in some kind of emo band. But
he's definitely rocking the goth vibe hard.
Yeah, he is, and I don't think he's supposed to feel inhuman, but that's a part of his character flaw.
Kind of remind me of Edward Scissorhands.
I haven't seen that movie in a long time, but yeah, I would give it an 8, and I think it's well worth your time. And I will say there are pacing issues, but once you get past that and you kind of give it a chance, it always leads to something interesting. It's always gonna. I mean, I don't know. It almost feels like at this point in the show, there's almost it has there's a part where after he sort of a story part, an arc ends, somebody makes fun of him for being depressed and frumpy. I think in the show they're
because he is. He's totally emo. He is. I bet he's the most emo of his family, which I bet's gonna be hilarious if that ever comes up.
Also, I think it's kind of whack that the first time he meets Constantine, that they're automatically looking like they're gonna fuck, and it's they just met. Why is this? They had no character development, but I guess that's the way it is. But anyway, I give it an 8.
That's how the show's going in general. No character development.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think that's TV writing shorthand, but
it's always just implications.
He's definitely not a bad looking guy, show wise, or the way he's aesthetically. So I'm I understand trying to add that little will they won't they spice, but it's bruh, he's what? A million years old.
So far,
the more you think about it, the more you're this is weird, right? This should be weird, right?
So far, even Constantine doesn't really she's not even a huge part of the show so far. So it's she only has that one little section, but I'm still I'm halfway through the show. So anyway. So
it was really cool when the guy ripped out of his body. When the demon ripped out of the guy's body, that was cool.
I felt bad for that dude.
I felt bad for that dude too. I'm oh, bro.
I was he's a successful football player, and then he just gets ripped in half by a demon. But
is this what happens every time Constantine does? No wonder no one wants to hang out with Constantine when she does.
Constantine has a lot of problems. All right.
Yeah, I don't I was honestly bummed that as soon as they brought up Constantine, that it wasn't like the dude who played him in like the Heroes of Tomorrow or whatever. And then
Matt Ryan, yeah,
Matt Ryan, he's
like,
the perfect Constantine. I have to say,
he's great.
He is Constantine. If I ever see Constantine in live action again, it has to be Matt Ryan.
and
he is Constantine.
There was a part where they go to this other world, and there's a moment where you're like, oh shit, is this character from Lucifer gonna show up? And then it's not him. So it's kind of like they sort of like, again, they're steering away from everything that is
it's its own universe. It's its own universe. Everyone who got cast in roles you know of from other DC things are different people.
Yeah, absolutely. Like
they're doubling down on this is our thing and no one else's.
Yeah. But I really like knowing they cast Gwendoline Christie as Lucifer, even though I haven't got to that point. I love that casting.
Yeah, she's honestly great.
I bet she's great. She doesn't ever she's one of those actresses that I always want to see in more stuff, and she never gets cast in more stuff. And it really pisses me off because I feel like she's kind of been typecast as just big imposing woman when she has so much range.
I mean, well, you won't like this then, because she's just big imposing woman too.
Yeah, but isn't she like sassy big imposing woman? Like she has a fun personality. I like when she's
she is.
It was on the preview for season 1.
Malevolent for sure.